You're listening to the Wicked Theory Podcast.
We're very happy to have you back, even for a short visit.
And here we go.
Broadcasting to you live from I'm about 25 miles away from NYCC, New York City Comic-Con. And that's probably a safe distance. This is the Wicked Theory Podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is the Wicked Theory Podcast. I'm your host. My name is Bill Sweeney. This is episode 178. I got some friends here with me. I got my buddy Ed.
Cliff, it's time for you and me to interface.
All right. And then I got my brother Bob.
What's up, everybody?
He's on the guitar.
Sorry about that. My pick slipped.
Oh, is that... My pick slipped and I played something awesome by accident. Oh, man.
No, earlier with the boo-boo.
No, I know what you meant. I was trying to save you.
Oh, sorry.
Pretend...
I helped hang myself there.
There you go. I'm just going to leave it alone. All right, this is episode 178. And we do it live on Saturday nights. We got some kids in the chat room, I think. Some early birds.
Yeah, we do.
We do. Well, we do it live. It's on at Mixlr.com, mixlr.com/wicked-theory. Don't spell dash. It's a literal dash.
Yes.
Not like Mrs. Dash.
Nope.
Like a hyphen, if
Yeah.
you would.
But not. It's a dash.
True.
You know the difference?
Yeah, tell me.
The hyphen's got spaces.
It's got spaces. If those people listening live want to send in emails, you can send them emails. Send us emails too if you're not listening live.
Yeah.
But the people listening live still have some time before we get to that segment. They can send them to podcast@wickedtheory.com. Other people can leave us voicemails. We have a voicemail thing.
Yes, we do.
We do.
Yeah, we do. It'd be nice if someone knew.
Yeah. Send in characters. The show's going to start getting weird, folks.
Yep.
The show's going to really start changing. We'll get to that. So now's the time. If you want to bust out this character that you've had in your pocket the whole time, and you're like, oh, if it was only a way, I could be a regular on this podcast.
Or if you just want to tell Uncle Jay, fuck you.
Right, or anybody. And fuck you. Here's a recipe you should try for soup. It's cyanide and battery acid. Give it a try. Like, we get it.
Yeah.
You guys hate us. We get it. But if you don't, or you do, leave us a voicemail. You can find it at wickedtheory.com.
Yeah, you just want to tell us you're nice boys.
Yes. I know I do like you guys. You're good people. Just don't go near my kids.
Those guys over at Wicked Theory, they're really nice boys.
Exceptional. They're very special, if you know what I mean. But yeah, that's what we're doing here. Edward O'Hare, our buddy over there.
Yeah.
He's doing that DC TV report every week.
Yes, Sarah Netzley. And this is the last week of retro picks.
Yeah.
We cover Harley and Ivy.
Off of the old school of the Batman the Animated Series.
Yeah, and we do a little deep dive refresher on what happened last season on Flash and Black Lightning, because those are the shows that come back next week, along with Titans.
That's convenient. A little.
Wow, they were gone?
Yeah.
It's been so long.
I gotta say, we can tell Bob's not watching some of those.
Yeah.
But yeah, it does feel like Flash has been gone for a long time. I can't believe it's coming back already.
Yeah, like 3 months.
Oh, jeez, Louisa. But that's what you and Sarah do over there every week. You guys get together, you do recaps, news, and
Commentary.
Yeah. One of these days, I'm going to figure out that whole line, that whole
spiel?
tagline. Yeah. But it's colorful, I will tell you that.
Oh, thank you.
You should call it colorful commentary. Because there's no color commentary guy.
Yeah.
Officially. It seems like you both are.
Yeah. And we do the tweets. Some of the tweets that we get.
Okay.
You get Sarah Chicago. So she was pushing the deep dish last week.
Oh.
And I was trying to tell you, it's New York. It's thin crust, baby. That's where it's at.
Yeah.
And
Well, that's the original pizza that's from Italy. You know what I mean?
And then, like, out of nowhere, Bauer Fett tweets us that he's all about Godfather's Pizza.
Is a chain, I believe.
Yes, it is.
Or at the very least, every state has a couple of places called Godfather's Pizza, whether or not they're in the chain.
No, he's talking about the one Herman Cain owns. Godfather's Pizza. which is not available in New York City.
Because when I think
burning
pizza,
around.
I think that guy.
Yeah.
You know, but
Yeah, I think the real Godfather would get a little pissed off. If someone
Yeah,
opens
yeah.
Godfather Pizza in New York.
or even me as
It
a
wouldn't last-
godfather,
it wouldn't last long.
Yeah.
or even me as a godfather of a person, I will say,
Yeah.
not cool.
Yeah,
But
I mean, I've never had it. You know, here we the chains around here are like Domino's, Papa John's,
Right.
Pizza Hut,
yeah,
which I was saying is the for New Yorkers.
yeah.
That's the pizza we order when we're out of town.
Or it's 4 a.m. and we're fucked up, and it's
Yeah.
like, who's gonna deliver right now?
Yeah.
And I'm so drunk, I really can't taste it. So
It doesn't matter.
it doesn't really
I
matter.
just need it for the bread.
Yeah, exactly. I need something to sop up this alcoholism in my gut.
Yeah.
But
The heartburn will come later, and that'll be all right. I'll deal with it.
Thomas K loves to talk about two things lately when he talks. When I see his exchanges
Yeah.
between this show and your show, he's got two bits. The first one is
2 bits.
yeah. The first one is he's got a comment on the DCTV report on YouTube.
Okay.
He's every now and then he's got over on that account. That's where he listens. So every now and then he's got a little jab over there.
Mm-hmm.
But one of them ties into this, where like he went to his old bit of like, yeah, your pizza in New York, it's half a pound, like 3 pounds of cheese and like a half a pound of oil.
Oh yeah.
10 quarts of motor oil. That's his bit.
Well, that's the pizza that's made by the Albanians and everyone who's not Italian.
Right, the amateurs, the amateur hour. If you see that going on, you're in the wrong place.
Yeah.
Let's
Right.
just say that.
Yeah, and what you got to understand in New York is like in Italy, Albanian people are like Mexican people are in the United States.
Let's not start this.
No, I'm not
I
trying.
don't care. Let's just not.
Yeah.
I have a feeling.
They're the
But he will
inexpensive-
but he will double down.
No, forget it.
Thank you.
This is gonna be everybody's last show, Bill.
I know. Shh, Ed, don't give it away
I
yet.
had a valid thing to get to. If you would have let me finish.
All right, go on.
No, forget it. Forget it now.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. All right. So anyway,
DCTV report.
yeah, go check that out, kids.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wouldn't have sounded like a schmuck if you had let me finish.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Continue.
I can now.
Well, you were going to anyway.
No, I know, but I'm not. I still feel the tension. Is all.
So our buddy Wes Weezer has the real thing page over on Facebook.
He does. The real thing. REEL.
Yes.
Over on Facebook.
Yeah.
it's
It's not about fishing.
It's not no, it's not.
No.
Actually, it's about film, pop culture, stuff like that. Stuff we talk about here. You know, it's a hive of scum and villainy. Maybe I don't know. I know we are sometimes, but people can check it out, and he's keeping you up to date on a lot of comings and goings on pop culture stuff. If you need a hub to go to, to kind of see what's new and what's happening, and then that brings us to the chat room, kids.
Yes. Yeah. So right now in the chat room we've got Thomas K, we got Wesley,
Right.
Bauer Fett, and Zombie John and James.
Gotcha. Well, I'm glad that they came.
Thanks.
That was nice of them.
Oh yeah, and Agent Palmer.
Well, it's all the regulars then.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Good times. So, I don't know. I guess we give them a game. I don't know how this is going to go.
All right.
What do you think? Without saying, what do you think on this one?
Well, all right.
It doesn't seem like that bad of a setup.
No. It's
I feel like it can
the
go
first
wrong.
example is throwing me a little bit. That's all I'll say. So,
Okay.
So it's terrible cosplay Halloween ideas.
Yeah.
So things you shouldn't really do in Halloween.
Right.
Things that might even be funny.
Well, at first it came to me as like bad cosplay for Comic-Con.
Oh, okay.
So, but I didn't know, like, I was having trouble.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, let's just open it up. Cosplay or Halloween. It's a bad costume idea.
It's October, so
Right.
so we got those.
Yeah, it works.
Yeah. So the examples are Bill Cosby.
So I'm just picturing this, I don't know, just a big pill.
Someone with like
Just
someone with like a head
Wha-
that looks
wha-
like a piece of Tylenol, and he's just got like a Huxtable sweater.
Yes.
And,
I love that so much better. Yes.
Yeah, and a cup of Jello.
Yes.
Yeah,
Right. You
yeah.
can all the accoutrement.
Yeah.
But he's just
Yeah.
shaped like you're in a
Yeah,
big pill
yeah.
costume.
He's got a
now.
dish of Jello in one hand
Yeah.
and a can of Coke in the other.
Right.
It's-
Right. I'm sure it helps if you're actually a black dude and you're doing it. You know what I mean? But
and
this is not a costume for white kids.
The other one is urinal cake.
Yeah, I don't know. Just picture like a big homemade yellow, pink triangle.
Mm-hmm.
The people kind of won't get it.
Yeah.
Dude, are you a bar of soap?
You know what I mean? And maybe like you stink yourself up. I don't know. So then when they get close, they're like, ah. You know what I mean? But you'd have to have that really soapy urinal cake scent somehow.
Mhm.
I don't know. But I think they're both terrible ideas.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think as far as that goes,
Well,
they're good examples because that's
yeah.
what we're looking for.
Well, I'm already seeing some of the examples that they're throwing out. I'm not going to say them yet, but they've got the theme.
They got the hook.
They got the hook.
All right, run with it, kids.
They understand the angle.
Run with those scissors, kids. Jab everybody's eyes out. That's what we're waiting for. That's what we're looking for. All right, and then let's fold in this to the news. I think
Okay.
because we have a show development.
Mm-hmm.
Ed, you've already hinted at it.
All right. Well, let Bob play the theme first.
Sure.
You got
It sounded so sad this time.
you got your sound effect going?
Oh yeah, I do. Which one would you like?
The Daily Bugle?
Oh yeah. Oh, okay, you want to?
Yeah.
We're gonna go through them all for old time's sake.
So,
Fucker.
Let me just say it.
I just got so giddy that Bobby did that. I don't know. I shouldn't have. I'm sorry to take your thunder away.
No.
From your moment.
So this is big news. This is my last episode of the Wicked Theory podcast, and it's been a lot of fun. I just want to say right now, there's no hard feelings here. This wasn't about anything going on behind the scenes. It's I have another project that I'm working on right now that is that you're not going to hear about for a long time because it's still in early stages. But I want to take some more time to devote to that, and I'm still going to be doing DC TV Report. That's still going to be coming out every week. I'm still going to be doing the Franchise Chronicles articles on the Wicked Theory blog.
Bob can't even do it. Bob wants to play along, but it's too funny.
But this is going to be my last regular episode on the Wicked Theory podcast.
From the chat room, James says, "Hooray." Which I think is fucked up.
Yeah, it is.
It is, just a little bit.
It is.
But telling. We
we
would expect no less from him.
To that, I will say, I love you too. I think that's the best way for me to approach that. This was a very hard decision.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to be best. And I'm excited to see what you guys.
Well, look, don't be excited for me. I'm excited for you.
Mm-hmm.
Be nervous for us, maybe. But no, I'm only kidding. But I told you earlier, man, I'm happy for you because you were talking to me about some ideas you had for some things a while back, and I was like, those sound like strong ideas, but they're going to take a certain kind of a commitment, and in order to do that, this is one of those things, man. This is like the double down of it. If you're going to do it, you got to trudge ahead, and I think a lot of people who actually listen to us, will be surprised to find themselves following you on this new thing, because they don't know what the fuck we're talking about right now. But I'm really happy for you that you're making a move on this project. So I don't want anyone to think just because also too that just because this is the end here for you as a full-on regular, that we won't ever see you again.
No,
Tom said that too.
Yeah. I think the idea was, we'll see how he behaves and then maybe we'll have him back. Yeah. See, this is what happens, kids, when you come in late. Kilted Ginger, Dan's like, what? Wait, what?
Well, I just want to point out, no 2 weeks notice.
That's a good point. I did kind of hear this today. So it's, because I think the idea was, do I take a break or let me just kind of take some time. What are you watching, the chat room?
Yeah. It's
Getting a lot of fuck you, Ed. So
it's like, who do we got kicked the crap out of to get him back?
Dan Evans is like Fight Club for Ed's seat.
Fight Club for Ed's seat. I don't know. It could turn into that.
He does do impressions, right?
Yeah, he does do some voices.
Oh.
You know what I mean? I don't know if he's got any original characters, but he does do some impressions. Tryouts are now we have a hotline.
Oh wow.
It's called
Okay.
the voicemail.
Oh, there we go.
There you go. So it's the
There
tryout
we go.
line.
Now
There
we
we
have
go.
people a reason to call in.
You got
Yeah,
90
yeah.
seconds to wow us. It's who's got talent
Yeah.
out there.
Yeah, but I've had a lot of fun.
Absolutely.
I want to let everyone know so we can enjoy this together.
Right.
You know, and yeah. Yeah. Well,
Dan
you know,
says he's got a ton of voices in his head, so you don't have to worry. I think we'll be hearing more from him. Well, here's the thing. I haven't really gotten deep on it or anything, but you know, we've been talking behind the scenes that there is something in the air, and we've been talking for a while. Like, you know, this podcast feels like it's due for some shifting. We used to keep the shifting and the changing a regular thing. Like, the experimental nature has kind of drifted out a little bit, and it kind of became very much like, oh, here's the 7 segments we do. Where's the shifting or the changing things that we used to rotate in and out? So it's like, well, maybe this is that phase now. This is the experimental phase of us figuring out the next stage of it. And I'm glad that this kind of, you know, it helps to push that along.
Yeah.
Because I was kind of feeling that, and I was wondering, as we approach like episode 200, is that a place to kind of say, maybe I want to just change everything or make some smaller changes, or what's going to happen? You know, so
we had figured out what we wanted to do, and we got comfortable with that.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? That was it, and we were okay with that for a while. So now we can kind of shake things up a bit.
Yeah, now we can just
You
be
know?
like, fuck it, burn it all down.
I'll steal Ed's laptop and I'll take his place.
All right. All right. We'll just commit all the sounds to the soundboard. Don't have to worry about the guitar anymore.
No, I can play with one hand.
That's true. That's true. Well, we can get you like a one-handed instrument, like a harmonica or like a cymbals between
Listen,
the
I'm
knees.
a single guy with a computer and no girlfriend, so I do a lot of things with one hand.
Oh, my sound effect board wasn't up.
damn.
You can all wonder. You can insert your own sound effect there. Probably Bob's.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna do it. I was gonna save you from
I'm
that.
no good at it. See, that's why That's why it's got to be yours. Because I can't do
I
it.
got fatter cheeks.
Honesty.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So let's just keep this going in the old school sense, and let's roll into some news.
Yeah. By the way, I'm loving the hashtag game. These terrible cosplay ideas.
This might be a good one for your last round.
Yeah.
All right.
Throw these up here. All right. So let's get into hard news.
Let's get serious about it.
Yeah.
So do either of you know who Banksy is?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so Banksy today pulled a really kind of brilliant move. So there was an auction
Oh.
at Sotheby's
Okay.
for one of his pieces, and it sold for $1.4 million.
Oh wow.
But then when the gavel hit, the frame that it was in ate the picture and shredded it out the bottom. It was already pre-rigged to do that. So either like somebody was in the room and had the button to trigger it, or he was watching live. Like, it happened like instantly.
Oh, it was remote. Okay.
Yeah, it was some kind of remote thing. It couldn't just be timed. It had to be triggered. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but anyway, so it was all the talk today. Like, Banksy was trending top for a long time today. So there's footage out of like not as it happened, but like as it started feeding out the bottom, I think it got jammed because it was like a homemade thing. So,
Right.
Yeah.
so this piece was in a frame that's like this deep set frame that I think was backlit, so that you would just presume it was that deep because of the lighting. It's like built
Right.
in, it's on top of a light box, basically, like, you know.
Right.
But, you know, so this footage just shows it kind of like half out the bottom. Either it stopped or it got jammed, and it's just all shredded like a shredder,
Right.
like
So the idea
for a
was-
document
So
shredder.
the idea was that right after the person purchased this, it
would
would
get
be
destroyed. But here's the thing. I think that makes it even more valuable now, because that's just another layer of the
Yeah.
commentary
That's probably
on the
his
system.
thing.
Yeah,
That's probably his thinking too.
absolutely. Like this, like I know it's a commentary, but that's still not going to stop anybody. Like now it'll sell for even that much more, and I'll still get none of it, but whatever.
Yeah, because everything he does is thought out that way. It's
It's the message on top of the message.
Right. It's,
Like, you
it's
know?
about what's going to happen at the reaction, and then what can happen because of the reaction.
Right, that too.
You know
Yes,
what I mean?
absolutely. It's so multi-layered, and just like one of those things where I realized, like, I just hadn't really even heard from Banksy in a while. He was getting really kind of prolific in the way where, like, every year he kind of, or so often he was kind of had some big thing, and they were getting bigger. Like, he did this whole fake Disneyland, and he also had those trucks that drove around Manhattan with the plushy animals. in the meatpacking district. I don't
Yeah.
know if you saw that, if you remember that. So it was a big truck, panel truck, where these stuff, it must have people inside working these animal puppets, all super duper cutesy, just all poking out of the boards. And they're like, like all kind of like torturous, but cute, like kind of screams, and just drove around the meatpacking district like all day. Like, So, but I thought this was just this crazy fucking move. And I just feel like it's one of those things where, like, it just fucking burned. It just says so much. I just wanted to bring it to people's attention. If anybody hadn't seen that, I want to go check it out real quick. I just find it fucking hysterical as an art freak myself. You know what I mean? Just a balls out move. But that's all I really had. I mean, obviously Comic-Con is this weekend too.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
there is
New York. It's in New York this time.
Boy, oh boy.
Boy, like, we got enough nut jobs in our town already.
Yeah, please. Let's just get it over with. I want the traffic back to shitty again. Right now it's at super shitty. But anyway,
Yeah, really.
so there's a lot of stuff coming out of there. And as usual, like, it's hard to run down it all in any way. That's not really the show. We kind of pick and choose what we're buzzing about. But other news came out this week too, so we got a little bit of a mix of it. But Ed's got a couple of stories.
Yeah. So there's a Star Wars TV show being planned.
That's right.
John Favreau is executive producing.
Johnny Fav.
Yeah. Johnny
Mr.
Favs.
Iron Man.
From
Swingers.
Swingers. Yeah, classics.
Yeah.
But absolutely.
Yeah.
He's
and-
working on it.
Yeah, he's
John Favreau. He did Iron Man, right?
Yep.
Yeah. He directed the first 2 Iron Man movies.
In my headspace, I might have made a face. I was trying so hard to remember Swingers.
Yeah.
That when you hit me with Iron Man, I'm like, did he do Iron Man?
I got no reaction.
Yeah, I know. Because I was
Yeah.
trying to process 5 things.
Swingers, Maid, Chef.
Right.
Chef. I love Chef.
Everybody loves Chef. Still haven't seen it.
We're gonna watch.
I've seen Iron Chef.
We're gonna watch it tonight.
Is that like his too? Iron Chef? Is that like the
No,
in
it's
between both? No.
that's a Food Network show.
Food Network. Iron Chef.
It's actually a Japanese show that
I
aired
know.
on the Food Network, and then they remade it like 3 times.
Actually,
You want to hear some fun? Go check out the pilot, the first American version that aired for one night on UPN. That starred William Shatner as the chairman.
Sounds 10 times better. But I will. I probably will at some point. Or you'll have it already queued up when we finish tonight.
So anyway, Jon Favreau's Star Wars show, which is going to air on Disney's subscription streaming service.
Yes.
We have a name for it now.
Oh.
It's called The Mandalorian.
The Mandalorian.
And we got a picture of this guy who's a gunfighter.
Yeah.
Bears a striking resemblance to Boba Fett.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit.
They all look a lot alike.
Yeah, and we know nothing about him, but we
Yeah.
do know people who have signed on to direct episodes of the show.
Right. That was an interesting list. Yeah.
Yeah, which include Deborah Chow, who's done episodes of Better Call Saul and Man in the High Castle.
We like those shows.
Rick Famuyiwa directed Dope. And was attached to The Flash for a while.
All right.
Taika Waititi.
Taika.
Yeah. I heard about him.
Thor Ragnarok and What We Do in the Shadows.
Yep.
Dave Filoni. He's directing the premiere. He was involved with Clone Wars.
Oh, right.
and,
He's like the Star Wars guru dude.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, and Bryce Dallas Howard.
Because why not?
Yeah.
I guess. I don't know. No, she has directed some small stuff.
Yeah.
And this will be like kind of like one of her first kind of like
Yeah.
mainstreamy kind of things. But
She directed an indie
Yeah.
called Soulmates.
Yeah.
And she's a famous actress.
I'm sure
and
she's more than capable.
She's
yeah.
Ron Howard's daughter.
But not
all
only
right?
why, she probably knows more than most people on the set she's going to be directing on.
Exactly.
Right, I got you. She grew up on these
And
fucking
if she's
things.
having a problem, Daddy, what do I do?
Dad, like, come on. Just come down here and take a look at this real quick. Just come down to the editing booth real quick. Come down to TV City.
So
Dad,
yeah,
they're making fun of me as a director.
Kill
need
them.
I need your help.
yeah, and we know everything I've said just now. That's all we know about this show,
Right.
and I'm excited.
Yeah.
I think it's
Mhm.
yeah. Now we gotta
Yeah,
find out
jazz.
Really?
Jazz.
Really?
We have like one kernel of information.
Yeah, well, we gotta
Really?
find out. We gotta find out. Now we gotta find out about this subscription service. Is this gonna be like another $8 a month?
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
That's probably
Yeah.
going to be it.
I was trying to get us going into like a one-word conversation.
Yeah, I know. I know.
Yeah, really? Whoa, dude.
Whoa,
come
dude.
on.
How
No way.
8? How much?
Huh?
Quanto?
So next up, and this is something. Some of this has been out for weeks, but they've been doing a lot of casting for the Birds of Prey movie.
Right.
Which Margot Robbie is going to be coming back as Harley Quinn. But they announced this week that Rosie Perez is going to be playing Renee Montoya.
What the fuck, Batman? How many times I got to tell you?
Come on, Mookie, we gotta go.
The bodies are piling up in Crime Alley. I don't know what to do, though.
I think she's great. She could have played this part like
Yeah.
25 years ago.
So that's the only thing that kind of
Yeah.
throws me off is that I think she's a little bit older than Montoya, like is conceived in the comics. But so what? I mean, she's
Yeah,
Kat Cachet. She's
I-
a great actress. Come on.
I guess that's the angle that they're going with. Is she's the grizzled
She's the
veteran
senior,
cop.
right? She's the senior cop here. She's. I
Yeah.
mean, we're not going to do James Gordon. I guess is what's going to go on. Or if we do, it's like a passing nod of some kind.
Yeah.
Um,
But yeah, and this is and the previously a couple weeks ago they announced that they cast Huntress and Black Canary. Mary Elizabeth Winstead
Right.
is playing Huntress, and I think that's great casting.
Right.
And Journey Smollett Bell is playing Black Canary. If you don't know her, she was on. I know her from The Great Debaters. But she's an actress, and this is a bit of a change because she's African American.
Right.
Black Canary, as we know, is usually a platinum blonde.
So fucking stuff in the chat room just keeps flashing. I have these little alerts that come up in my top corner.
Yeah.
And they just kind of float over any window I have over, so they just kind of fucking randomly the stupidest shit just coming over. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
that's
But yeah,
fine.
all right, cool.
So yeah. This Birds of Prey movie that isn't gonna have Barbara Gordon in it.
Right.
So it's not really Birds of Prey. It's Harley Quinn and a couple heroes.
Yeah, it's Harley Quinn
Yeah.
and the gals, kind of where it's coming down to. It's
Yeah.
it's the ladies of Gotham.
Yeah,
it's starting to sound like a calendar from the
Yeah.
80s.
And I think they're going up against Black Mask in this.
All right.
I think that's the villain that they're talking about.
That's Silver Skull, as I like to call him.
Yeah. But yeah. So
What's happening?
Yeah, that's happening. And it's set. The release date's February 7th, 2020. But they're gonna start filming soon.
All right.
So yeah, that's my news.
Right.
Right.
And I got Brother Bob in here for a couple things.
Yeah. All right. I'll just start with the one that's more me-centric.
Fair enough.
of
Fair
the
enough.
two. I only mentioned this at all because I did mention something in the past. So
It's a follow-up.
That's a follow-up. Gibson is now out of bankruptcy.
Gibson Guitar.
Gibson Guitar Company.
Sure. Not
Right.
Mel. Gibson
No,
Guitar.
no, not Mel Gibson.
Fair enough.
He's still like mentally immobile.
Right. That's fine. Right.
But anyway, so yeah, Gibson, a conglomerate of financiers that are led by a group of musicians has bought Gibson. And
Okay.
they've pulled them out of bankruptcy. They paid off all the debt.
Oh, wow.
All right, so this is not just like, okay, we're figuring out a way to fix the company. This is
Yeah,
a
yeah,
bunch
yeah,
of
yeah.
guys who are like, all right, we're taking the fuck up, and we're gonna fix it.
Right.
All right, because these are all guys who like love Gibson guitars.
Yeah, it's a
and
labor
stuff
of
like
love
that.
move. Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, these aren't like Slash and guys like that. These are musicians. The group of musicians who's leading this is a few guys who had some successful albums and then formed this group.
Okay.
This business of financing other businesses.
Sure.
Okay, so, but these are musicians nonetheless, and they've all come together to make sure that Gibson gets righted the right way. So, yeah, Gibson Company looks like it's the ship will be righted soon. So, hopefully they make a few smart decisions, and
Nice.
if they can just make a few of the right decisions
Yeah.
now, they'll ease everybody's discomfort,
Sure.
and everything will be fine again.
Yeah, people will
So
come back.
That's the feeling I'm getting out of that one.
Sure.
But in some comic book and Star Trek related
What?
news,
What?
Yeah.
there's basically a 4-generation crossover. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
That's going to be happening from the Star Trek universe in comic books.
Nice.
Going to be the original Star Trek, Next Generation, DS9, and Voyager.
Whoa.
It's all going to be tied into Q.
Cool.
This is how they're going to make it all work. So.
All right. I see that. I could see that.
Yeah, it's called Star Trek: The Q Conflict.
Oh.
It's coming from IDW.
Ibn-
They've got a gorgeous cover art by J.K. Woodward. I don't know if you're familiar with his
Yeah.
art style.
Not with the name off.
Yeah, it's
offhand.
nice. It's like you got Q in the background, and you have like the popular casting crew.
Oh, I see here. Yeah, I'm
all
looking at it.
together.
Yeah. What I love about a big picture like this is that if you're a comic fan, when you see one of these, you're like, oh, I can see how each one of these, because there's like a space in between each grouping.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I see all 4 covers here, huh?
Yeah.
They're gonna split this up. And these are 4 issues right here.
Yep.
I like it. But that's wild. That's damn.
Yeah, I'm sure that's the first 4 issues because it's got to be how they all come together.
Sure,
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
sure.
And then the big fold out. We'll have, on the 5th issue, we'll have them all together.
Yeah, right. Something like that.
Yeah, and this is 6 issues. It's written by Scott and David Tipton, and art by David Messina.
Okay.
I think IDW has been doing some great stuff with Star Trek since they got the license.
Yeah.
Well, evidently they have been because they've had it for a while. Right?
Yeah, and they did some great tie-ins with the movies. There's a prequel to the first J.J. Abrams Star Trek that's all about Nero. That is like a really cool backstory where you find out like what he's doing.
It's like, oh man, if only this stuff had been in the movie.
Yeah, between destroying the Kelvin and then the attack on Vulcan, you find out a whole thing where he's in like a Klingon prison.
All right.
But yeah, check IDW.
Yeah, the article's a little bit lax on more details than just like this is gonna be great.
It is one of those internet articles that's like really about half done.
Yeah, I think the thing is that like they've just kind of announced it. It's kind of like the tease before they kind of give the full push on the story.
Yeah.
But yeah.
No, you can see they literally just copy and pasted the press release.
Oh, absolutely. They just kind of broke it up a little bit. Yeah.
Even if it says press release at the top of the article.
It just says press release.
Motherfucker couldn't just like.
I got credit for the article though.
Couldn't rephrase it.
Yeah.
I still got paid though.
Yeah. And the byline is Newsrama staff. It's not even like because no one really wrote anything. Well, that's fair. We'll just chalk it up to everybody.
Right.
All right. But no, that's cool, man. That's exciting. You know what I mean? And
yeah, I just wonder why they didn't include Enterprise.
I mean, at this point, it's the only thing missing. Maybe that's the cameo. Maybe that's the surprise. All of a sudden, Scott Bakula's captain will.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he'll be the one behind it all.
Yeah, he'll turn out to have.
You guys don't like me.
Yeah, you get Enterprise.
I'm a Q now.
Yeah, you get Enterprise and Discovery just show up at the end to save the day.
Right. Everybody's there. You know.
Yeah.
All right. So, all right. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So for Trekkies, that's a bit of a big deal.
Yeah. That's worth one checking out, man. And they do, like you said, IDW does a lot of stuff. They do a lot of Mirror Universe stuff too.
Yeah. They had a first Mirror Cracked, which was the first time you had
Next Gen
go through because Deep Space Nine did a bunch of Mirror episodes.
Right. All I remember was everybody had a goatee and no sleeves on their uniforms.
Yes.
They followed that motif from the other episode. But yeah. Alrighty, Roo.
Palmer's been like chomping at the bit. Chat game's ready.
Chat game's ready. Ready to go.
He must think there's some good ones.
Well, that and also too, I know that when like he's like it's a thing where like he's like, all right, I told everybody no more. And then like if you go do another bit, then it's like I guess we could have went longer. But you know what I mean? So it's like it just makes it easier.
So,
but we do have a bunch. Oh,
yeah.
all right.
Yeah. So
Let me cue up a little fucking music here. No, that's sad music. We'll give Tigra. We'll go with a little Tigra.
There we go.
I'll be ready with the music.
There you go. I'll push this over.
Okay. So
Bobby's on bell duty because he's the music director.
There we go. The hashtag was terrible cosplay Halloween ideas.
Right.
All right.
So
you guys nod if you like.
Yeah.
it.
Well,
I'm not-
got
if
it.
I
You
not
got
don't-
it. We'll give you a
right off the bat, I tell you, you can do Rainbow Hitler,
Yeah, that's terrible.
Paris street urinal,
I like that. That's good.
used tampon.
The best thing about the Paris Street urinal is that people have to probably piss in it
Yeah.
because it's that's if anywhere you see one.
Actually, the used tampon. I think I've actually seen that on the internet.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
So
Me too.
Ed, formerly from Wicked Theory.
Oh.
Ed's
unemployed with a big sign says unemployed.
Ed's chair from Wicked Theory.
Oh.
Sexy Gerber baby.
Yeah, that's not good. That's terrible.
Supreme Court Justice Kavanaugh with a case of beer.
That's not even a joke. You're gonna see that. You are gonna see that everywhere.
Oh yeah,
but we'll
you
give it
will.
a bell.
Yeah, you will. Wolverine's barber.
You know why that's a terrible one? Why that's a terrible? Because some jerk's gonna be like, "No, let's have a serious talk about this right now at this party," and like, you know what I mean? Like, don't do political based.
Yeah.
What was the next one? I'm sorry.
Wolverine's barber.
Oh, yeah, that guy.
Deadpool's butt plug.
Ew. I don't even want to hit the bell.
Yeah,
for that
yeah,
one.
disgusting.
Hulk's tailor.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, a pimple from Dr. Pimple Popper.
I'm not familiar with him, but we'll say, okay.
Banksy.
Banksy, here we go. Oh, well, just tying it in.
Yeah,
Just tying...
sorry, we don't know what he looks like.
Yeah, you could just go as anybody,
Yeah.
really.
Go as a paper shredder. Call yourself Banksy.
Sulking Bill Sweeney with 2 empty chairs.
Oh.
Uncle Jay's
What,
shoots.
I'm chopped liver?
Yeah, right? I mean, like...
What the fuck? I don't count.
Or maybe they mean Dom. Maybe they mean
Yeah,
Dom. Like,
yeah.
we've lost Dom, we've lost Ed.
Yeah, but they just mentioned you, no me, and 2 empty chairs.
And Bob following behind with a guitar, I guess. I don't know.
No, I got to precede you because you have to have entrance. music.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true. That's true.
Uncle Jay's chewed cigar.
Ugh.
Ooh, yeah. Sabretooth with rectal itch.
Oh, that's not good.
No.
So it's just a saber-tooth costume, and one hand is bloody, and then, like, if you see the back of
Yeah,
him,
yeah,
his
yeah,
hand is
his ass
bleeding
is
from
all
his butt.
bloody.
Yeah, okay, I got you.
Lot of tie-ins to the show. Bob's internet search history.
I don't know if we want. I can only imagine.
A lot of PlayStation View.
A lot
Yeah,
of
yeah,
guitar stuff. A lot of guitar
A lot
stuff.
of guitar on YouTube.
Dick Grayson with a Me Too sign.
Oh. Ooh. Dick Grayson.
I count.
Dick Grayson with bloody shirts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh.
Superman's taint.
I'm not sure how you do that.
Yeah, really.
But I'd be interested.
Yeah.
We'll give it
Any bathroom after Comic-Con.
Yeah, that's just fucking gross.
Yeah,
That's terrible.
really.
That's terrible. That's terrible.
Women of Marvel costume protest.
I'm not even sure which. Yeah, I'm not even sure.
I can't. How do you picture that? I can't-
Just all of
Yeah.
them? I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I guess. Oh, but just
it's a protest of that.
Yeah.
So how do
right. All right. There's a Women of Marvel costume, and they're all
So, yeah.
protesting it.
Yeah.
It's layered. It might be too layered for me.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. The guy who has to deliver bad news to Darth Vader.
Okay.
This
he usually gets like mind like strangled.
Yeah.
this is the worst costume of all time.
Okay.
Which is an aborted fetus.
Oh, from that guy
Well,
too.
Yeah, I keep thinking in my head, but these are supposed to be for Comic-Con, but we're not just going Comic-Con.
That's true. We're doing just Halloween in general. We
Yeah.
could have
Yeah.
that in here too.
Yeah. That's gonna get you thrown out the moment
Yeah,
anyone
yeah.
sees you.
And I have a feeling that, like, because James put that one in.
Yeah.
So I have a feeling locally, it's probably not a good idea for him to go as that one.
Yeah. Next up, Tiffany Trump.
You know why it's terrible? Because no one's going to know who you are. No one's... Who?
Jabba Palace Pooper Scooper.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's rough.
Now, is that the scooper itself or the guy who uses it?
Right.
Yeah.
And how do you... And, I don't know. Is that recognizable? But I like it.
Yeah. Donald Trump's hairpiece. Is that
Just the whole...
is it just like Cousin It, just like orange?
Or is it like you're walking around like it's a giant wig?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where it's like concave and everything.
No, it's got to be like, you know how you got Darth Vader's helmet, and then you had in Spaceballs.
right. Yeah.
It's got to be that disproportionate.
Right.
Yeah.
Lord
You know,
helmet. Right. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Lord
yeah.
helmet.
Yeah. Well, someone followed up Trump hairpiece or tribble. It could be the same thing.
I feel like that's a game.
It could be
I
the
feel like
same
that's
thing.
Yeah, that's actually a game.
Yeah, it is. Hulk's Dingleberry.
It's just a green giant fuzzball, really, right? I mean,
Yeah.
Actually, wouldn't that be Bruce Banner's Dingleberry on a giant guy? I mean, I wouldn't be.
Hulk's would be worse,
Yeah.
but I don't know.
Does Hulk get the shit though? I mean, he's only there when he's angry. You know what I mean? If I'm thinking Bruce Banner does all the shitting.
I think that's key, though.
Yeah.
That is a key question.
Yeah.
So silly.
This next
Key.
guy,
It's very important. It's very important stuff.
No, this is important stuff.
This is
In the
important stuff
in
we're
the
trying to
nerd
figure
verse.
out.
In
Yes,
the nerd,
yes,
in the
yes.
nerdverse, this is important stuff.
Does the Hulk poop? And if he does, where does he go? And is it okay for the toilet? Does he fuck up the plumbing?
Does he have dingleberries?
Does he even stop to use the plumbing, or does he just go, Hulk shit no, and just drop trowel? And it's like, dude, not here. And it's like, oh, Hulk not no.
It's like the size of like a medium-sized dog.
Yeah, a fucking table. It's like, you know what I mean? All right, what's next?
So next, this is someone who probably might be listening to Gotham Lights recently.
Oh, okay.
Palmer convincing Steph Qdobo is Tex-Mex.
That is very inside. You know what I mean?
There
I
we
guess I never even
I'll
heard of
give it to him.
Qdobo, but I guess that's a
No,
place.
that's QUBO, and there's a couple on the island now.
Oh, okay.
It's basically like another Chipotle, I guess.
Oh, okay. All right, very good.
This one is Oh, con crud. I know what that is.
Okay, what is con crud?
Con crud is like just the sickness you get, kind of like the flu you
I
get from
gotcha.
going to the con.
Gotcha. You just
Just-
pick up this random kind of
oh,
cold and shit from shaking hands and just
Yeah.
germ exposure. It's like, okay, I gotcha.
Just like being alone in a room with 100,000 people.
Because I gotta feel like con crud is more of a person type, like
Yeah.
that goes to conventions.
Mm-hmm.
Like those guys over there have some real con crud. I don't know. That's me.
Well, maybe they're in line with bantha shit.
Which is the next one, right?
Yeah.
Bantha shit.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to make it specific.
Yeah.
I think once you've done one type of shit, I think you cover all shit.
Yeah.
I don't
I
know.
mean, unless you're talking about maybe bird shit, because that's white shit.
You know,
Yeah.
to get in a lot of photos at a con, like if you went as a pile of shit, you could just do ironic photos and just drop to the floor behind people and just like have every guy dressed as Deadpool.
or every guy just
squat.
Yeah.
Just squat over me. Like, you know
or
what I mean?
no, just every guy dressed as Jeff Goldblum, just staring at you. That is one big pile of shit.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. Jeff Goldblum reference.
Yeah, I don't know if this is
Jurassic.
I don't know if these are cosplay ideas or just stuff you wouldn't want to have for dinner.
I know. These next couple.
Professor X's chair sores.
I don't know. How do you do that as a costume? Yes, it's
Yeah.
terrible. Okay.
Yeah.
I think we gotta like try and say that these got to be kind of almost viable costumes.
Yeah.
I mean, almost.
Yeah.
Feasible.
Daredevil's eyes,
Okay. Yeah.
and finally the Coney Island whitefish.
There you go,
There you go.
folks.
There
Go
we
big
go.
or go home. Coney
Give
Island
me
Whitefish.
like 3 or 4 for that one.
Yeah,
It's like,
I mean, Wesley,
there
come
we
on.
go.
Wesley came through big time with that. Woo! That was a good one.
Mm-hmm.
That was a good round.
Yes,
Yeah.
it was. Lots of stuff.
Lots and lots of stuff.
Bowerfett puts forth a valid question. If Hulk eats it, does Banner shit it?
Potentially. You got to
That-
kind of
that-
hope.
That could be scary though, dude.
Because you got to think, right? Hulk's eating bigger meals. If he
Mm-hmm.
changes before he digests that out,
Really, he's.
and then you change the banner, that's going to like fuck him up on the inside, I think.
How many calories do you think the Hulk would have to eat in one sitting to be satisfied? Like 50,000 calories.
Like all
Yeah,
of them.
yeah.
Yeah, like all. Like all
You
the
know what I mean?
calories. Like,
Could you
know what I
imagine
mean?
being a normal person and having to shit that?
Ugh. Was he eating in Thor Ragnarok? I feel like there was food around or
yeah,
something.
he was.
Yeah.
Yeah,
A little bit, right?
Yeah, in his quarters.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I
something.
feel like he was drinking water. You know, he was kind of keeping his fluids. You know.
Drinking Gatorade,
Hulk, stay healthy.
taking his multivitamins.
He's got that green because of all the kale. I got you.
Yeah,
I got
Omega
you.
3.
A lot of that. A lot of that. All right, well, the show's over. No, wait, we got more. Okay,
yeah.
all right.
That
So,
deserves a bell.
No, Ted Knight's up next.
hey-o.
Ted Knight, you mean like the guy from like Too Close for Comfort?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, this guy.
That who died in like 1995.
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
Yeah, he was the voice of the first seasons of Super Friends. He was the narrator.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
meanwhile,
Meanwhile, the whole of justice.
give him the old Billy Baroo.
I thought we were going to start talking about Ted Knight.
We
Yeah.
could.
Yeah.
Underrated.
No, it's the meanwhile.
Underrated along. Oh, that's true. All right. Too much witticism. In the meanwhile, I finally started watching The Americans.
Oh yeah.
I figured, hey, the show just went off the air.
Every TV critic. Yeah.
Now's a good time.
Every TV critic swears by that show. Like no one watches it except TV critics.
Right, exactly. Like, I know this gets good ratings, and they went 5 seasons, and it wrapped up.
Oh no, it got shit ratings, but it was the kind of thing where so
It's
many.
a prestige show. You keep it for that.
It gets so much good press, they were embarrassed to cancel it, and it's.
You know, I didn't finish the first season yet, but I get why. It's very engaging. It's you know what I mean. There was only like there's one aspect of it that I'm like, all right, that's just a little too convenient. It's like, okay, you guys are spies, and the new guy at the FBI moves in across the street. Okay, a little too convenient. You know what I mean? But it was good. I mean, they had good actors in it. The guy who does move in is like a guy where you're like, oh my God, I've seen this guy in everything. He's in this?
Yeah.
Cool. I couldn't tell you his name. But I like him. It is a really good show. Like, granted, I haven't watched a lot of it yet, but I caught the first few, and it's very compelling. It's very well done. It's definitely you can definitely see the long form of it. How they're going to stretch, you know, how it all is going to kind of it's good. It's a great setup. You can see how the show can run for a while. You know what I mean? So I'm very interested in catching up with it. So yeah, I'm late to the class on this one. But if anybody's kind of like looking for something, you know what I mean, this pops into your mind. You remember me mentioning it to you? Check out The Americans. I'm catching it on Amazon right now.
That is a show that every once in a while I would hear someone say, "Oh, that's such a really good show." I'm like, "Yeah, maybe I should check it out." you know,
Right,
but
yeah.
you never get to. You know?
Yeah, and that's what happened to me. I'm going through Amazon, like, what are some shows that I've heard about a million times, and they're all looking at me.
Right, that's right, because you got Amazon Prime, right?
Yeah. So they're all looking at me as I'm going through. Like, what are some shows? I need some shows that are good shows. And meanwhile, it's like, we only make good shows. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like 7 of the Amazon shows you're looking at right now are all highly lauded. Why don't you start? You know what I mean? But I picked up The Americans, which is like,
Right, like starting Breaking Bad right now.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's like some other thing that's been around forever. So yeah, I'm catching up with that, and I'm enjoying it.
All right, cool.
And so my other recommendation is a more heartfelt and kind of interesting recommendation. So if you remember a couple weeks ago, I started talking about the Chris Gethard show. So if anybody doesn't know who Chris Gethard is, he's like an improv comedian guy, basically came up in that scene. But he's got a TV show that's like this raucous, kind of very loose. It's a talk show format, but it's really not.
Just got canceled.
Did it really?
Yeah.
Oh, so they're not getting another season on True?
No, it's canceled after 2 seasons.
Well, it's 3 altogether because they were on Fuse, but it was a sister network. But anyway, so there's like 3 seasons of that, plus like 100 and some episodes that they did before all that. They did on public access cable.
Oh my god.
Out of Manhattan. That's like the real proto show. That's like the more interesting show to watch because there's no commercials and it's cursing and stuff like that. It's really like even more off the rails. Like, is this going to work at all? And so you watch it to see like when is this going to kind of fall apart kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Which it often does. And that's all part of it. And that's kind of like the unexpected is expected and kind of they're hoping for it a little bit.
Yeah, I remember seeing the commercials for this show and just be like, wow, this is just
what is
crazy.
This?
What the hell is this?
Is this even a thing? How is this a thing?
He's like rolling around in like a tin bathtub.
Yeah, but that's like, that's like the small end of it kind of in a way where like that's a more mainstreamy TV thing kind of in a way. But anyway, so he's been around for a while, been doing things. And so he's got a podcast that's been out for a little bit. I just kind of found it now. And it's called Beautiful Anonymous. And the setup on this is that, see, he's like a really introspective kind of guy to begin with. And he's dealt with a lot of mental issues. So he's all about kind of like being helpy kind of a little bit.
I can't listen to the show because I get too emotional over it.
Well, that's what's fun about it. Like, it doesn't get... Not every episode is crazy hard deep. So let me just say that. So have you heard some of it or you know of it?
Yeah, I heard an episode. They ran a piece of it on This American Life.
Right. So, right, that's what he was saying in one of these episodes. And I got some exposure on NPR, and now the show is kind of blown up or whatever. But, so the idea is that, though, he doesn't know who he's going to talk to. They put out a number when they're ready to record. Some people call in. One person gets put through, and they have an hour to talk. He can't hang up. The other person can. But the other person's going to stay anonymous, and they're going to talk. And usually that other person's got like a story to kind of tell or something like interesting to bring to the table in a way. But you get some just crazy peeks into people's lives and like, just it gets real, very real quick. It always starts out kind of like a little awkward.
Yeah.
But then like after those first 5 minutes, it's like, oh, okay, we're really picking apart someone's crazy story. So, if you go through the podcast, because they rotate them out, they put them behind the paywall after 6 months. So the whole earwolf kind of thing. One of the more interesting ones, it sounds salacious, but it's just kind of like a really interesting examination of the situation, is called I Made Out With My Teacher. And it's a young woman. Well, she's not young at this point, but she's like in her 30s. And when she was 15, she kind of was in a relationship with a teacher. And it's like, what was this thing? And like, she's not really completely bothered by it. Like, so it's a matter of kind of like listening to him talk to her. And she's very eloquent and everything. You know what I mean? Just listening to her kind of rationalize a little bit.
Yeah.
But also like, you can kind of see where she's coming from a little bit. Like, like it only went so far and all this kinds of stuff. And it's really like that episode on its own is pretty interesting. And then there's another one where, in the very first episode, he's talking to a guy, which starts out like it doesn't really feel like it's going to go anywhere. And it just turns into this thing about motivating this guy to kind of just get his life together. Like, you know what I mean? And it was very relatable, maybe too relatable. You know what I mean? And so I've listened to a bunch of them. But I like the aspect of it being this whole random just kind of thing where, like, he doesn't know what he's kind of walking into. And it's always some kind of deeper situation. And one of the last ones I was listening to, I didn't finish today, was called The Chillionaire, which is about like this woman who gets $1 million from an uncle she barely really even knows, but like she can't really do anything with it. She really can't use it. Like her real life is just kind of like upside down with, like, you know, her father's got some issues and this thing over here where it's like, you know, there wasn't an ability to kind of run with $1 million. Like, you know what I mean? And it's like this interesting kind of flip, like, just because you get $1 million doesn't mean you walk away with $1 million. And it's like it's interesting kind of stuff. So I'm just kind of going through by titles and plucking out episodes.
Okay.
I'm not running straight through the gamut because I feel the same way too. Like the most recent episode is called I Survived a Mass Shooting. And it's somebody who from the Vegas shooting he ends up talking to.
Yeah.
So these people, like, you know, sometimes like every week they're trying to call in and get plucked. So they kind of have like a story they want to share. And some of them, it's almost like therapy a little bit. It's like, I haven't talked to anybody about this, but fuck it, I'll talk to you. I know who you are, Chris. You don't know me, like that kind of thing. But so if you're looking for something that's like an interesting conversation between two strangers, a stranger conversation, if you will, that's maybe a place to kind of go find it. So check that out. Beautiful Anonymous is the name of the podcast. And that's going to round out my recommendations for the week.
All right. Cool.
I think Bob is up next with something called Heavy Trip.
Yeah. So I'll tell you the story like I told you.
Sure.
So the other day, my phone blew up with this trailer for Heavy Trip, which is a Finnish movie about 4 guys who live in the middle of nowhere in Finland and have
That's a bit redundant, but I'll let it slide.
and they have a death metal band. Yeah. Basically, the short story is it's a road trip movie. That has shades of. I really don't want to say it's a little bit of Airheads because it's metal related, but
yeah, that would give a false kind of impression a little bit.
Yeah, it's definitely a fun movie. It's a road trip movie about 4 guys who are trying to figure out who they are and where their place in society is, and everything in the movie is fun. Like one of the guys, the guitar player, he works in a slaughterhouse. His dad owns a slaughterhouse.
Okay,
and he kind of like does things a little bit under the radar, and he's lost 2 fingers. Okay. Well, he's lost the 2 middle fingers. Right. So when he holds his hand up, he's automatically got the devil horn. Okay,
it's by default, right? Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
There's stuff like that in there.
Right. There's a lot of punchy jokes.
Yeah, there's punchy jokes. There's laughs in basically every scene.
Sure.
It doesn't come off as being cliche.
Right.
It doesn't hit. It doesn't like go for like the obvious stereotypical heavy metal jokes.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
That was Airhead's thing.
Right. Yeah. The easy. You know? Everybody will get this reference.
Right.
It's a little bit more written to like you'll get the joke, but it'll really make you laugh. Like if you actually have been in a band.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because there's moments of odd juxtaposition.
Okay. Sure.
Like the singer, the main character in the movie, he's a very quiet guy. Okay. He's got straight hair, comes down to his butt.
Right.
And in town, everyone makes fun of him. They call him a girl.
Right.
And stuff like that, you know, because he's got the long hair.
Sure.
And so he internalizes it. He doesn't like. He's like right away. You meet him, and he's like inside his head saying, "Yeah, you know, these are the moments that you wish you'd figure out something to say, but I usually can't. So instead." I do this, and he puts on his metal music. You know what I mean?
Right,
it's
right,
just,
right.
It's like, you know what I mean?
The high
that's what he wants to do to them.
Right,
you know what I mean?
Right. But he's socially awkward a little
bit.
Yeah.
But it's, you know what I mean? So there are those kind of moments too.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's a very low budget movie. Right. But it's a fun movie. It's subtitled, thankfully.
Right.
It's a fun time, and if you're into metal at all, you'll definitely get all the jokes and everything.
Sure.
The bass player Posse is probably the best straight guy I've seen in a long time.
Okay, all right, the straight man in a comedy. I like it. I remember seeing the trailer a long time ago.
Yeah.
When you brought it up to me, it took me a little bit to remember because it had been a while. But I do remember seeing it and being like, I think this is something I want to watch. Like, and I because it was a finished movie and stuff like that, I never stumbled across it again. I'm glad you kind of came back around. I'd like to check it out.
It's actually very fun. To go back to Posse just real quick, he's the moody guy.
Okay.
But he's also extremely. He's got one of those guys with the photographic memory.
Oh, okay.
So he hears a song once and he knows the date it was like came out, the band, everything. So. You just got to see it. It's actually kind of fun. If you got nothing else going on or whatever, you want to check it out. Heavy Trip.
Heavy Trip.
Make sure you find a subtitled one, unless you know Finnish.
Right. Yeah. You never know.
So, definitely a recommendation. Check it out.
All right, there you go.
Cool.
And then Brother Ed over here has a few.
Well, it's my last show, so I got to pack it in.
Oh, okay. That's the reason?
So I can go make ice cream.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, make ice cream.
but you can't eat it, though.
Yeah.
No. I mean, like salt.
Oh, the whole process
ice,
make.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. You got enough
Cream.
time.
Yeah.
You got plenty of time.
So,
Let me just lean back, take a nap.
last week there was a movie you guys made fun of, where you
What?
changed.
I made fun of it, though?
Well, you changed the name.
We were having some fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was the house with the clock in its walls.
Right.
Yeah.
It was the mouse with the cock in his balls, right? Was that what we said last week? No, that's a new one.
Yeah.
I think OJ said the whore with the cock in his mouth.
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
It was definitely like some cock stuff.
Yeah.
It's definitely something Ed wouldn't say.
It was.
Oh,
it
the
was
gentleman
the
Ed.
shack with the in his.
You're such a homo. I'm sorry, I can't believe I said that. You're such a silly. All right.
We gotta get him a job on a tugboat.
That'll really man him up, you think?
But no, the house with the. What's
Put some skin on you,
I was
kid.
right. Super Live Adventure. I was on that.
Yes, you were.
Show.
We should plug that.
Yeah, we should plug Super Live Adventure. That was fun.
That was fun.
And
American Cousins?
American Cousin.
That's the name of the
Yeah,
episode.
that
Go
was the
check
name
that
of the
out,
episode.
kids.
And what was funny, my favorite part of that was getting to listen to it afterwards. And right after I finished, Ed gets really nerdy. And Chris is like, nerdy, dirty. He goes, no, not dirty. He's not very dirty.
No, actually, no, he's not. No, he's not dirty at all. And I went back in my head and I was thinking about it and I was like, oh, yeah, Ed didn't say a damn dirty thing. And you barely came out of promo mode. I know I sent you the text, but you barely even came out of promo mode. They were like, yeah, I think I've seen that. And you were like, okay, so DCT report, Sundays, okay. And they were like, Sundays, huh? And he was like, yeah, Sundays, Sunday mornings. You were like so in it. But I'm taking away from your.
That's just Ed, man.
Yeah, he was. But you know what it was? I know that because the thing is, I know that you knew that you had a limited slot to hang with them. And you were like, kind of just like, I'm just kind of just here to promo the show.
I'm aware. Like, it was funny because there was a moment where I asked, like, how much time do we have in 25 minutes? Originally, it was going to be 15 to 20 minutes.
Right.
And I knew if I didn't say anything, I want to be on this whole episode. I would have loved to do it, but I had work the next morning.
Yeah. So, House with the Clock in his walls.
House with the Clock in its walls. This is a movie that a lot of people don't know is directed by Eli Roth.
Eli Roth, horror maven.
Yeah, and it is a kids movie. It's a kids horror movie.
I like the sound of it.
Yes,
I like it already.
It's a little bit more Goosebumps.
Yeah, but like it's also Amblin. Amblin is becoming Amblin again. And
Okay.
This is the first movie they're trotting out with the new Amblin. Did all those movies back in the 80s.
Right.
Back to the Future, Goonies. They were kids movies, but they had a little bit of an edge to them.
Yeah, the stakes were real.
Yeah, and that stakes were real, and that's the kind of thing here where you have some fantastical stuff going on, but it is real. Kids in this are mean, and it's honest.
Right, it's realistic in that. Yeah,
and it really this is the type of movie that I grew up watching and loving, and I haven't seen one of these in a while. And it was a fun thing I saw it and I kind of thought it was going to be like Goosebumps. It was going to be a little goofy. But then I heard Eli Roth in an interview, and when I found out that like he was directing this movie,
Right.
you know, and I'm not especially a fan of his horror movies, but I love him in interviews. I think he's a great interview.
Right.
And,
he is.
And that
He's shot.
Yeah, and that guy knows how to sell.
Oh yeah. Oh
and-
yeah.
But like he sold me on it, and I went and I paid money, and I'm glad I did. And,
Yeah.
and I want to recommend it. You know, and like it's. I'm trying to figure out the best way to.
Is Jack Black a little too Jack Blacky in this one?
Well, no.
He's dialed back, Jack.
He's dialed back a little bit. I mean, he's still crazy.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's why
There's-
you got him there.
I mean, it's bonkers. It's the kind of thing.
It does
where,
look like a bonkers movie.
All of this bonkers stuff is going around, but the key thing is everyone accepts the premise.
Sure. Well, as
It's-
always,
it's
that's
not.
the key.
It's not tongue in cheek at all.
Right.
You know, and it's you do get that sense of danger that's going on there.
Well, good. Good.
You know, and there are. I mean, there's CG in this, but there are still a lot of practical effects to balance it out.
Right.
You know, it's the kind of thing we use CG when we have to, but if we can do it practically, we will. And yeah, this is a movie that the whole family can love.
The whole family.
The whole family, man.
The whole family can love.
Best Halloween movie since Hocus Pocus.
It's Hocus Pocus.
Which
And he said that with a straight
He
face.
did,
I know you
folks.
guys are sour on that, but if you grew up with the Disney Channel like me in the 90s, Hocus Pocus was a thing.
I think it's time to return to fucking Snake Mountain or whatever that movie is.
Which mountain?
Witch Mountain. Snake Mountain's from He-Man. It's Skeletor's castle. I mixed them up on semi on purpose.
Yeah. Oh, someone says, why did DCTV release early today? Because Bill was showing me how to post on the Lipston, and we did it by accident.
Yeah, I
and
totally
then-
forgot. We should have mentioned that, right?
Yeah. And then said, yeah, screw it. So yeah.
So it was out. Once it was out, we left it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so early episode of DCTV Report, kids.
There we go. So yeah. What else? Venom.
Venom.
I went to see. I had a choice on Thursday.
Yeah.
I could see Venom
Right.
or A Star Is Born.
Right.
I went with Venom because I knew I was gonna watch it for this show, and I can't recommend it.
What I'm confused is that
Oh,
between
wow,
the two
really?
movies, you didn't pick the horror, but whatever.
Yeah. But-
Evidently, he picked a horrible.
Wow.
well, okay. So here's the thing. Like, if you're asking me straight up, is this a good movie?
Right.
It's not.
Right. Structurally, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, all that stuff.
You know,
You know,
I'm sure, and I can feel that, trust me,
yeah.
through the trailer.
It makes no sense.
Yeah.
It's all over the place.
Right.
But
But
it is an experience.
it is.
It is-
Is it worth seeing?
Yes.
Is it-
I would say.
Okay.
I would say it is worth seeing, but you have to bring friends. This
I
is
got you. It's a
something-
little bit more of a group thing, maybe. It's a little more of a.
Yeah. This is.
I got
something-
that. I can see that.
This is the kind of thing I couldn't enjoy this properly because I was alone and I was like, what the hell is this? What am I watching? What is going on?
You know what I picture that
And-
whole theater being a lot of? Oh shit! What the? Oh! Like a lot of that.
No, actually, it was more like, what the fuck is he doing? What the fuck?
Why? I got you. I got
But
you.
like, you needed that one person. Like, what the fuck was that?
As long as it wasn't you, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Then
yeah.
Then you don't. Then if it's not you and somebody else is doing it, it's like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm not alone in this here.
But Tom Hardy is crazy.
Well, yeah,
Like-
we've known that though.
Like,
He might be the craziest guy in
first off,
Hollywood right now.
He's got that, you know, he's got that weird fucking New York accent, which in
He is doing the crazy. I don't
yeah,
understand it
which
from the
in
trailer.
the drop was really good and really solid
Okay.
and really dramatic.
Right.
And here it's like he's just a little bit more drunk.
That's what it kind of feels like to me. It's this weird
Yeah.
thing where in the trailers, I was like, it sounds like he's stuffing it down,
Yeah.
or he's trying to do a thing, and then it's like this plus that, like equals this, and he's like putting the wrong numbers
Yeah.
together or
But
something.
but like there
I
was,
don't know math. I probably shouldn't have used them.
there was a bit of controversy earlier in the week because
Oh.
he said his favorite 40 minutes of the movie was cut out, and
It's the credits.
no, what he what he explained
Right.
The blooper
was
reel.
that his favorite 40 minutes was cut out because it made no sense with the movie. It was the kind of thing where the director said, "Go, man, you just go wherever you want," and he just did the most outlandish, stupid thing he could think of, knowing they're never gonna fucking use this.
Okay.
And like, what we got was the leftovers that cobbled up to make a kind of
It's not a
story.
40-minute sequence. It's
No.
just like there's about 40 minutes of me doing different versions or different things.
Yeah.
Cumulatively,
Yeah.
it's about 40. I got you.
But
I
the,
got
whole,
you.
the whole thing, and and this is even more than the Predator is really a throwback to the 80s. Like this wants to be in that like Predator, Terminator type of genre. Yeah, and it's basically like T2 meets the Predator. That's the kind of
It kind of seems that way a little bit. I can see that.
And I feel like that was the setup when Todd McFarlane did it in the 80s.
Yeah, that's true to the characters origins.
Yeah, but it's the kind of thing where like the symbiote is with him.
Yeah.
And it's talking to him.
Yeah.
And only he can hear it, so he's talking to nobody. For a lot
And
of
you know
the
what I
movie?
can tell about this movie too, just in general. It's like an aside, but like people who love Venom.
Yeah.
Like I'll run into comics fans where like you talk about Spider-Man, like they don't even talk about Spider-Man, they talk about Venom.
Yeah.
You may be like, hey, read Spider-Man, fucking Venom, right, bro? Like, I wasn't gonna jump to it, but all right. I'm like, they got Venom T-shirts, like those people because like they're of a certain type a little bit.
Yeah.
I feel like. Or I've seen a pattern, to me anyway. They're going to eat the shit out of this. Because to them, this seems to embody what's to love about Venom. It's just being crazy and all off the hook.
But I'm telling you, man, this guy, when he goes out there, he's got the when he like gets it, and like the whole thing is it's making him sick.
Okay.
Because it's not, he's the first person that's been able to stay alive with it inside of him for like more than 20 minutes.
Right.
So he's got like flop sweats and he's running around trying to talk to people. Like it's like he intentionally went out the night before on a bender and went hungover and didn't take a shower and has just wandered onto set and is just trying to ask the PAs what's going on and they happen to turn the cameras on.
Right, but for the character in that moment, it works.
Yeah.
Just the whole disoriented mumbling thing,
But he
not knowing what your accent is.
And he kind of does that the whole movie.
I know, but I can see that from the trailer, and I can feel it. Like it does feel like this kind of thing that might be a little disjointed.
Yeah.
So I can get why it's going to be like there's going to be a hard line of people who don't like it, and then people who fucking love it.
Yeah,
Like, I feel like that's going to be the hard line.
I can see like years from now when you look back on this movie, you're gonna look back at this as like, is he doing a Tommy Wiseau impression? Like, is he just trying to like how would someone who doesn't know how to act approach this part?
Right. And is Eddie Brock really from New York? I mean, he's not born somewhere else and then moved here.
Yeah. Well, the movie takes place in San Francisco.
Oh well, then I'm not even going then.
Well,
of course, Spider-Man's not in it.
Yeah, he moved.
It's in Cali.
Yeah, he moved there. He had to move there after he got fired by the Daily Globe. And the Globe.
They don't even use the Bugle.
Nope.
At least the Daily Globe is an actual Marvel, newspaper competitor to the Bugle.
Yeah. And,
anyway.
And and I will say, and also, you need to stay. There's two post-credit sequences. There's a mid-credits and a post-credits.
Right.
And I won't say. I mean, you know what it is because they've already talked about it online. But I won't say it here, just in case people
want to look it up, they can.
People want to look it up, they can. But the moment that you see in that mid-credit scene,
the Thing, or whatever.
Yeah. What is revealed there?
Yeah.
I did not like this movie. But I want to see the sequel just because the world needs more of this. Of just that thing that shows up in the mid-credit sequence.
Okay.
So please go so I can see whatever the hell that's going to be.
Because you look baffled. Simultaneously baffled, but like kind of loving it?
Oh my God.
Like I'm repulsed but excited at the same time.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
So, Carnage?
I don't know. It sounds like something more than that. Something different though.
Yeah.
But anyway.
I guess I'm gonna have to go looking for those scenes.
Yeah.
But and so that's Venom.
So that's Venom.
Okay, cool.
You got one more thing in here.
One more thing. It's a TV show.
Right.
8 episodes. I've gotten through 6 so far. Jack Ryan on Amazon Prime, starring John Krasinski. As Jack Ryan in the hero, and I'm all about this show. The thing I read some of the books. My dad was a huge Tom Clancy fan back in the day, and I think this is the first adaptation Well, Hunt for Red October got it right. But,
yeah.
But really got the way that Jack Ryan is an analyst first,
Right. Yeah.
and he turns into a field agent when he has to. But I love the way that John Krasinski seems perfect for this part.
Yeah.
They've got his mannerisms, and the thing that I like is
They nailed the analyst part. I'll say that.
yeah.
Well, yeah, he's already worked in an office.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Wendell Pierce, who plays James Greer, who's his boss, I think he's also excellent. And I think he gets that part well in the backstory there.
Okay.
But the thing I love about this show is they make fun of him for being a Boy Scout, but he does hold true to that, and it makes sense with his character, and he sticks to his guns, and he's right, and it works.
Okay.
And you realize that he is the hero, and it's about him trying to hold fast to those principles in a world that's not playing by the rules.
Do you feel like Jack Ryan when you're watching this?
I mean, it's
It's immersive, bro. It's really immersive.
I relate a lot to that character, and I enjoy it.
Do you?
Yeah, I haven't felt like this excited since like.
So, but how often are you chasing down terrorists? I don't understand.
I'd pay to see that, man.
How often?
I would.
How often are you like doing like interrogations? That really depend all about like how you handle a water bottle. You know what I mean? That's what I want to know. Am I spoiling episode 1?
I want to see you go all Matrix and shit, dude.
But I'm talking about the way he interacts with people.
No, I know what you're saying.
Yeah,
Humans.
just the way he carries himself. I relate to that.
No, I know. I was being facetious.
Yeah, and like it's really fun. It kind of reminds me a lot of watching like the Clayton Moore Lone Ranger from the 50s. Just kind of like that was a man with a code, and he stuck to that code. And there were times where he got challenged, but he got through and it worked out for him. And this is a cold hard world for Jack Ryan, but he's sticking with it, and so far it's working out. And I'm just really enjoying it. I think Krasinski's great, and I wish we had more shows like this in the world.
I watched the first one. I liked it a lot. The first one really sets up the season pretty well.
Yeah.
I meant to get back to it. It's one of those things where it's like I kind of know it's there. I'll get to it.
Yeah.
And not for nothing, but my buddy Brian was watching it at work, and I know he was digging it. So there's that, because even he was like, well, "What about Krasinski?" And I'm like, he grows on it. Like if you're not buying it like initially,
Right.
they set it up in a way where it's like, they don't just like. He doesn't come off as just being a dropped-in badass guy, like much like Ed is saying. Like he comes off kind of like realistic in a way where it's like, and also to the other thing, like it's that real kind of way where like, not every guy in the service is some jacked up machine.
No.
In the real world, like some of these guys are kind of lean, like they're not all buff. Guys who can
John
carry.
Cena.
Yeah, they're not all carrying the Jeep on the back when it gets a flat. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, so I was digging it, man. So I'm happy to hear that you were enjoying it too. And
Cool.
not to put the button on it, but I think that wraps up the meanwhiles.
All right.
So
Do you have any emails?
we do, as a matter of fact. We have one,
Okay.
but it might be the only one we need because it's come a long way.
Oh.
It came right from the chat room. And I can tell you that because, it's, timely. But it is Wesley. First question is, would you rather be incredibly poor and help people, or incredibly rich and hurt people? Real moral dilemma.
Ooh, yeah.
From Wesley here. This is a grown-up show kind of question.
Well, yeah, I couldn't be rich and hurt people.
Yeah, I feel like that would probably get to me.
I couldn't do that.
Yeah, I agree.
Right.
So
I'm already poor and I help people just by my job.
Yeah.
So I'm not, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I need money.
Yeah.
So I'm nice and I need money. So that's
Right.
that's the situation I need to choose.
Yeah. if I could pick a neither, I'd pick a neither. You know what I mean? Or a middle. Is there a middle?
Well, it's like it's kind of thing. I don't think that's the real choice. I think the real question is, if you got money, would you turn into an asshole?
Well, that's always the question.
And,
you know,
and I think for most of us, it's probably,
probably. And even if you really didn't, people would just kind of think you did.
Yeah.
Because that would happen.
Well, that would definitely happen to me because if I ever got enough money, I'd take care of my entire family and I would disappear.
Right, exactly. Me too. And I think we kind of see eye to eye in that. And I think for other people, that would be a thing where like, oh, I guess he's just a dick. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
no,
you know.
because everyone else on the planet is going to be looking to come to you for something.
Well, that's what I mean in general. But I think in general, like that's a thing where like you would just it wouldn't matter. Like so much of what you did would be like reinterpreted. Like you know what I mean?
Oh,
like
yeah. No,
even if you
it's
hung
like-
around, every
like-
step you took would be like, oh, that's that
Right.
jerk. You know what I mean?
Right. It's similar to what Kurt Cobain said. Kurt Cobain said that as soon as you become famous, you don't change.
Yeah.
Everyone else does.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
So
You try to be as real to who you are, but everybody sees a
Right.
difference in you that's
And
not really there.
people react pretty much the same way when you have money.
Yeah, it's the truth. Coming from a guy who's really rich, I'll just tell you that I haven't become incredibly rich yet. So I'm really not hurting people. I'm just annoying them at this stage. I'm only required to annoy.
Yeah.
You know, when I get incredibly rich, then I'll have to start walking around with a bat and just whacking people.
Yeah.
And I think that's how you stay incredibly rich, is that you take their wallet.
Of course.
So you're doing things like paying the mailman to drop their mail at the curb.
Yeah.
So they got to walk out further.
Right, stuff like that. Just kind of like really being like, you know, a nuisance.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with Bobby, man. Like the whole incredibly rich and hurt people, like I'm only tempted to ask like how is the hurt happening because of the
Yeah, how bad is the hurt too?
like
I
not
mean,
because I want to find a wiggle way in to still be rich. I'm just asking because of like the setup of the question. It's almost like a thing where like
what-
oof, but
de-
to be
define-
incredibly
define
rich,
hurt.
yeah, like is that like maiming or is that like oh no, I'm just like hurting people in the way that somebody who's really bitch, like his
Yeah.
company,
Yeah.
ends up hurting people maybe in indirect ways or something like that.
Right. Well,
Because that I feel like is a thing that does go
yeah,
on.
Yeah, that kind of does go on. I think that's like, I think in business a lot of times, and this is not having any real experience owning a business, but it's kind of like with a Facebook group. If you start a Facebook group or a group online anywhere, like on a forum or whatever, you go into it with a certain idea,
Sure.
and then everyone joins, and it becomes something else,
Right.
and it's
right.
out of your control.
Right. Like a podcast.
Yeah.
But no, but absolutely, right?
Right.
Like like
Yeah.
So,
what other people
so the-
think it is or perceptions
right?
or just
I mean,
time.
yeah, there are parallels there.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. You know, it's one of those things where it's like, I totally see what you're saying. It's like, you don't ever really think you're gonna be the villain of the movie, but all of a
Right.
sudden you might turn around and be like,
Right.
oh shit, I did
Yeah.
get rich on people's blood. Oh, blood diamond. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to go with that. Incredibly poor doesn't sound good either.
Yeah,
It's the
I'm there right now, and it's not fun.
It's the incredibly that has me.
Yeah.
That has me at a thing because I feel like if I'm incredibly poor, I'm not sure how much help I can really be to anybody. Besides, like, we both live in this shitty village. I'll carry your fish bucket. Like I feel bad for you, old man.
What's the king? They say money can't make you happy. And
Right.
It can help.
It can make you less stressed.
I think it's a trade-off of problems, right? Because
Yeah.
it can't make you happy, but you trade problems.
Yeah.
Right.
I wouldn't mind
but-
some rich man problems.
Right. But when you have money, you can pay someone else to take care of those problems.
Right. Right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I mean,
that's what
Bill,
I kind of.
Bill Gates is not sweating things. He's got so much money. He's looking to get rid of money.
Yeah, it doesn't even matter
You know
anymore.
what I mean?
Like he's beyond that shit.
I say, Bill, just put $1 million in everybody in America's account, and you'll hardly feel it.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Really.
Come on.
300 million people, $300 million,
You know what I mean?
and he's got what? He's worth what? 60 billion?
I mean, you couldn't.
I don't know.
That's the least you could do.
Well, didn't Bezos?
Why not? Just
Yeah.
you're
Well,
gonna.
Bezos or any of them.
Well, didn't he just overtake him in the richest guy list?
Yeah. He's like official.
Yeah, Bezos is the richest guy on the planet now.
Yeah.
He went from owning a business in his mother's basement.
Yeah, when you see that picture on the internet of his first fucking his first office, and he's got like the sign that says
Yeah.
Amazon, and it's like like spray painted on a banner.
On a piece of, I think a piece of cardboard.
Yeah,
with the
just some
spray
big.
paint.
It just looks, but it's definitely like
Yeah,
a can of
it's like a
something.
can of something
on,
on
yeah,
it.
on some kind of big white oak tag, some shit. And it's like it's like 1992. He might as well be wearing a fucking Bugs Bunny hip hop shirt. All right, so his follow up here. Let's not read too much into this. Okay. But he says, to Ed, we, not Jay, will miss your movie reviews on the regular, and good luck in your endeavors. May your bits be strong. And since Jay is missing, one final hearty fuck you in the best of ways. And if I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. That's from Wesley.
Thank you.
Very nice.
I think it's one of the nicest send-offs you could possibly get out of this show.
Yes.
Yes.
I've had so much fun doing this show.
Fuck you. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I'm just reading it. It's in bold.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. I've had so much fun doing the show.
Yeah.
Bill, Bob, Dom, Jay, Palmer, Sarah, Steph, everybody.
I wish I had the music from Romper Room. Like at the end of Romper Room, she used to kind of hold up this mirror, all this looking glass thing,
Say,
and she looked at
goodbye, goodbye, Jimmy and Joey and
Yeah.
Sam and Steve and
Yeah.
Donna and Diane and Carol.
Yeah.
You like to say my name, bitch.
Yeah.
Say my name.
Henno,
Never said my name.
No.
Dan, Jay and Grant from 7 Days a Geek.
Wow,
haven't
really
talked-
digging deep.
haven't
Are you
talked to
gonna
those
die?
guys.
Like you're not. This
Really?
is.
I just,
all right, I'm sorry. It's your
like he's gonna
moment.
get
It's your
in a car
thing.
and drive off a bridge.
It's your thing. I'm sorry.
it's been fun times. I hope we can have more fun in the future.
Oh, well,
But,
I would hope.
you
On
know,
Are your
both
new
ends.
endeavors gonna lend to that possibility?
We'll see. We'll see. I don't want to say too much.
Right.
Because,
I just don't want to jinx things.
I'm
It's
afraid-
early
I'm-
for anything anyway.
Exactly.
You know?
And this is something just you're not going to hear about 6 months, maybe a year or two.
Yeah, yeah.
So
It'll just be like, oh shit, that's what he was doing.
yeah.
So.
But yeah. Thank you so much. It's been an honor.
Yeah, it has. It has. It
Yes.
has. It has.
Ed, you walked into this house, a stranger, and you're leaving a friend.
Thank you.
Right? To me, anyway, he was a stranger, not to you.
Oh, I thought you were going to say a friend. Because I was going to say, that's not really a friend. I mean, he just kind of ambushed me one day. It was
I heard you
like,
doing a podcast.
he was like, here comes an email.
I know how to talk.
It's like an email, and it's like, hey, not for nothing, but that show that you're doing, that's really the kind of show I wanted to do. And I was like, all right, well, then come on by. Then he came on by, and
And he never
then he
left.
came on by again.
Right?
And then,
He was like,
I
think
the
the very
second time, he brought a fucking chair.
Right. Was it like the very next week, or was there like a week between?
It was
just-
1 week in between, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
'cause-
I think. Well, maybe there was a couple episodes, but it
yeah.
wasn't a lot. It definitely wasn't a lot.
Yeah.
Right. No, because I was just trying to remember if it was that situation where it was like a 1 week between, and then suddenly because it wasn't a member of the show yet.
Yeah.
Right.
The first time.
That's true. No, yeah.
But because you and I sat down and we talked.
Yeah, we talked about it. And it was like, oh, okay, well, and one of the things was like, well, he did bring a fucking chair.
Yeah.
So
Right.
he,
That's like the conversation actually took place after.
it was
a few
like,
weeks.
and I think when he brought it was just like, it was like, you said something to imply that, this isn't to imply that I'm going to be here every week. Like it wasn't official when you brought the chair.
Yeah.
You brought the chair because it was easy to make things
Right.
easier. But the funny bit about it is just that, like, when we were like, well, I guess he's planning on being here more often, at least.
Yeah.
Like, because he left
Yeah.
the chair.
Yeah.
Well, I
Because
remember.
it wasn't like he brought the chair and then like, I'll take it with me because I won't be back for a while.
No. Well, to be fair,
Yeah.
after that first episode,
Yeah.
we had a great time, and you're like, "Hey, if Dom's ever out or we need a fourth chair,
Sure.
I'll-
Here we go.
yeah.
Right.
yeah."
So
And
you
then
were like,
that happened a couple of weeks later.
right. And you were like, well, I'm a particular fan of this particular model.
Yeah.
Of Burka Lounger. And, I was kidding.
It was a
But
cheap little Staples.
I
chair.
know. Didn't even last very long.
Yeah.
But so hey, look, that was a great move because it said a lot in the moment. But hey, we wouldn't, we
Yeah.
we would have found a way to get rid of you. You know, we're nice guys, and it probably would have taken a while.
Yeah.
But we would have come up with some plan by now. I don't think we would have waited it out. Like, you know what I mean? Like, one day he'll just either the show will end or he'll find something else to do.
Yeah, like we're just starting on the one for Jay now.
And to be fair, we know it does take a while for me to get a hint.
Well, that's true. That's true. If I was laying one down, that's the conversation we'd be having. How is he not getting it yet? You literally opened the door at an hour and 32, and we're like, all right. And he
wheeled the chair outside. Right. Yeah, he did not go out with it.
Right. He comes every week, and he's like, why is my chair always out in the parking lot?
Yeah.
And I have to go get it. Can't you guys just leave it in here?
I told you we should have put the free sign on the chair.
Right. So basically, we're just saying we do like you. All right, so that's gonna wrap this one up, kids. It's Ed's last, but if you're listening live, we're not done yet. Obviously, we're gonna do some after show, so stick around. Palmer suggests maybe there'll be some one final deli talk of something to do with you. So
since you can't do it with Jay. Right?
Yeah, well, you know, I mean, maybe that's the way, the ceremonial way we'll go out.
Okay.
You know, whenever we lose somebody, we'll have to talk a little bit of food somehow.
Yeah.
Well, maybe the way to get Jay to do it is to take him to a nice Italian deli first.
Well, yeah, we'll have to build it around an actual thing. Right.
Yeah, go to a pork store.
Right.
Little salamari.
Yeah, we got one right down the street.
Or you could get us to one of those Polish places. Those he's always talking about. Those Polish feasts places. But like I was saying, if you're listening live, stick around. We're gonna get back into it in a minute or two. If you're not, that's fine. You can always listen to us live on Saturday nights if you've got nothing else to do. And who knows what it's gonna be from here on after this week.
We don't know.
We don't even know. We're gonna have to figure it out.
Oh, you know what we could do? We can kick Ed out at the end of this regular show.
Right.
And then we could dedicate the after show to figuring it out.
All right. Ed, you're fired. Right? Is that kind of like what we're going
that's
for?
because he didn't give 2 weeks notice.
Right.
Employment, here we come.
Well, no check.
In New York, you only get half of what it was your salary.
Right.
You didn't make anything, so you're going to get half of nothing.
Yeah, which, as you know, there's nothing. All right. So, Ed, people who will continue to follow you on Twitter, where could they find you on Twitter?
I am at Edward O'Hare TBD.
Ooh, Brother Bob, where are you at?
I'm at Bob WTPC on Twitter.
You are. And I am at Wicked Theory. The show is at wickedtheory.com. You can find it if you like it. Stick around, listen live, kids. We'll be back. I don't know. That's not how I normally do it, right? No. The music store I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
All right, stick around.
The Wicked Theory podcast is heard live every Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern until whenever. Just go to mixler.com/wicked-theory. Mixler is MIXLR. Sign up to join the chat. Then click the follow button to get reminders whenever the show goes live. You can find the show on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play Music, wherever good podcasts are given away for free, and at wickedtheory.com. You can support the show at patreon.com/wickedtheory. There you can get the after show if you miss it live. God forbid. Plus other exclusive episodes. As always, send your emails to podcast@wickedtheory.com.